Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on possessive nouns. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts, grade 2. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to a chapter of possessive nouns. All right, so our chapter is possessive nouns. Our subject is English Language Arts, grade 2. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on today under the chapter of possessive nouns is to identify plurals, singular possessives, and plural possessives. And to form the singular and plural possessives. All right, so when it comes to possessive nouns, right? Possessive nouns, it shows who or what owns something or has something. So possessive nouns, it shows who owns something or it shows who has something. So if you own something or you have something, then we will say it belongs to you, right? So instead of saying it belongs to you, it belongs to him, we're going to basically then state the name of the person, right? So then we will say it is, for example, Nadine's coat, Nadine's book, Nadine's jacket, right? The boys' ball, the girls' rope. It is Anna's doll, right? So we're going to find out how we can basically identify our possessives and how to also write our possessives, right? And that is by either forming the singular possessive as well as the plural possessive. All right, so once again, we have possessive nouns, and possessive noun shows who or what owns something or has something. And when a noun is singular, right? So if it's singular, it means it's referring to either one person or thing, right? So when the noun is singular, then all we do is we add an apostrophe as well as s, something like that, like in the bracket. So we add an apostrophe, which is that little sign. It's like a comma, but on top, and the s. So that is what we add, sorry, to the word, to the singular noun. So we will add an apostrophe and an s to form the singular possessive noun. All right. And if we look at an example, right, it says Matt, right? So if we're referring to Matt or like somebody's name, right? And then we can say it is, if something belongs to Matt, right? Or he has something. And then we can say it is Matt's glove. So do you see how we added an apostrophe and an S to his name? So if something belongs to Matt, that is his name. So if we want to say that something belongs to Matt, like Matt's gloves, then we add an apostrophe and an S to that word. Then it is Matt's glove, right? If it's my book, like Nadine's book, right? And then I'm going to add an apostrophe. Oopsie. I'm going to add an apostrophe as well as an S and then say Nadine's book, right? All right. Also, if we look at the bird, right? So we're making mention of the bird and the bird's wings, right? The wings of the bird. So if the wings belongs to the bird, or we're talking about the wings on the bird, and then we can say it's the bird's, you see, making mention of the bird's wings. All right. So when also a noun is plural, right? So that is when it is singular. But when a noun is plural, meaning it refers to more than one person or thing doing something. So when a noun is plural and then it ends in s. So if a noun is plural and it ends in s, like for example, boys, girls, right? That is a noun that's plural because it ends in s, right? Then all we do is we add an apostrophe only. So we only add that sign to form the plural nouns, the plural possessive nouns, right? All right. So if we look at an example, right, of a noun, it says the boys. The boys, it is more than one boy. It's plural, right? So if we want to talk about the camp that the boys went on, right? So if we talk about the boys or the camp that the boys went on, then we say the boys' camp. And do you see boys is plural, right? So all we do to show that something belongs to the boys, right, or the boys have something, or the boys belong to something, all we did was we added an apostrophe at the end. All right. Also, if we want to talk about let's say the schools are, for example, playing against each other. So now they're making a mention of more than one school. So schools refers to more than one school, right? And then we say the school's teams. And as you can see, all we did was we added an apostrophe at the end. So schools, so it's teams. All right. And when a noun is plural, right, when it refers to more than one person or thing or something that is happening. So when a noun is plural, right, and it does not end in s, like for example, here it ends in s, right, and we added an apostrophe. But now, if it is still plural, it makes mention of more than one person or thing, right? Pardon. And then but it does not end in an s, then all we do is we add an apostrophe as well as an s. So we're going to add an apostrophe and an s like this because our verb does not end with an s. So when a noun is plural, right, it refers to more than one person or thing, and it does not end with an s, then we add an apostrophe and an s to form the plural possessive noun. And remember, we said that the plural possessive noun, it either shows who or it shows what, either owns something or has something. All right. And children, right? If we look at these two are plural nouns, right? Because it refers to more than one person or thing that they're making mention of. So if we're talking about the plural noun, then we're saying the children. So as you can see, it's one child, but more than one children, right? So the children, it's a plural noun because it refers to more than one child, right? So we say children. So the children, and if we were to, let's say, for example, it's the children's toys, the children's books, the children's games, or something that the children are doing, right? Or something that belongs to the children, all right? And then all we do is we add an S to our plural, to our noun, right? So the same like we did over here by making mention of one person, we added an apostrophe and an S. So the same with children because it refers to more than one person, right? But it is plural, right? And it doesn't end with an S. And then we put an apostrophe as well as our S. Remember, we are repeating the what you call it. We are literally repeating all of the lessons that we did already, right? And this is now grade two. I did apostrophes with the grade three. I did it with the grade fours, right? So which means that if you're only grade two, you're only grade two. So I'm sure the ones who is, for example, who sticks only with their class, that only comes to their specific class, which is grade two or grade three or grade four, then this is something kind of new to them, right? Sometimes I teach the same thing or the same chapter to a different grade on the same day or the next day, right? But we're just gonna go over this again, no? So please bear with me. Because remember, there's new students. Remember, we get new students all the time. So to the students who were here already, like literally for the whole entire year, it's either we are going to basically do it for the second time or we're doing it again because there's new students constantly, right? Is that fine? All right. So we have children, right? So we say the children's toys. So that means that the toys belongs to the children, right? And if something belongs to the children, and then we can say that it is the children's toys. So all we did was we added an apostrophe as well as an S because that plural noun does not end with an S. Remember, we said over here if the plural ends with an S, then we only add an apostrophe to that specific word, right? But if we have a plural but it does not end with an S, and then we add an apostrophe as well as an S. All right, then the next one is the mice. Remember, it's one mouse, more than one mice, right? So one mouse, more than one mice. So we're talking about a lot of mice, right? So if we talk about the tails of the mouse or something of the mouse, And then we will say that the mice's tails. So it's going to give you the mice's tails, which is mice apostrophe is. Because now it shows that it's either something that belongs to or something that the mouse have, right? Or something that that mice have, right? Because we are making mention of more than one animal, which is more than one mouse. And more than one mouse is mice, right? So basically, this is possessive nouns, and we say possessive nouns, it either shows who owns something or it shows what owns something, right? Or it even shows who has something or it shows what has something or have something, right? And we made mention of singular nouns as well as plural nouns. And when a noun is singular, referring to one person or thing, then we add an apostrophe as well as an S, like over here, right? And that is to form the singular possessive noun. And if our noun, or when our noun is plural, which means that it refers to more than one person or thing, right? That either has something or owns something, right? And then we then add only an apostrophe if the plural noun ends with an S. But if the plural noun, if it doesn't end with an S, then our possessive noun, we need to add an apostrophe and the S, right? All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to focus on the two lessons, which is to identify plurals, singular possessives, as well as plural possessives. And we're going to form the singular and plural possessives. All right, so now we are going to the first lesson, which is to identify plurals, singular possessives, and plural possessives. And we said a possessive noun, it shows who or what owns something or has something, right? And we said that when a noun is singular, then we add basically an apostrophe as well as an S to that noun, right? So that is the apostrophe and an S. That's an apostrophe, and we just add the S, right? So we add that to the noun to form the singular possessive noun. And we made mention of Max's gloves, birds' wings, and we still said, for example, Nadine's books, right? And we added the apostrophe as well as the S. And that basically shows or it forms a singular possessive noun. And when a noun is plural, which refers to more than one person or thing, right? That owns something or has something, and the noun, that plural noun ends with an S, then all we do is we just add the apostrophe, only the apostrophe to form the plural noun. Like for example, boys, so boys, girls, so girls, schools, schools, and we only added the apostrophe at the end of that word, as you can see. But now also if a noun is plural and it does not end with an S, right? So it's plural, still makes mention of more than one person or thing, but it doesn't end with an S. Then we add an apostrophe as well as an S like we did over here. For example, children's toys, mice's tails, right? All right. Any questions before I continue? Any questions? Do we have an idea of possessive nouns? Do you want me to go over more examples of possessive nouns? Singular possessives, plural possessives with S or without S. All right. Okay, so if we look at the word in bold, so look at the sentence. It says, Owl's eyes are big and round. So if we look at that specific word, owl's, our apostrophe is at the end of that word. So owl's eyes are big and round. Is that a plural noun or is that a plural possessive noun or a singular possessive noun? You need to say what type of noun that is. So we need to say, is that a plural noun? Is it a singular possessive noun? Or is it a plural possessive noun? So we need to choose one of this. So owl's eyes. So the word owl's, is that a plural noun, singular possessive, or plural possessive? All right, so if we were to choose which noun it is, then we will say this is a plural possessive noun. Right, so this is a plural possessive noun because it makes mention of more than one owl, right? And we said that when it comes to a possessive noun, but a plural possessive noun. So when a noun is plural and it ends with an S, like with owls, right? All we do is we add an apostrophe, and that is to form the plural possessive noun, right? All right, so let us go to our test, where we are going to identify if the word is plural, if the word is singular possessive or plural possessive. Keeping in mind, right, with possessive nouns, right, we add an apostrophe and an S, or we just add an apostrophe. But when it comes to plurals, right, and then we basically just add an S because it shows that there's more than one of that specific things, right, more than one noun. So we either add an S to our word and that shows the plural nouns. But if we show either singular possessives or show plural possessives, and then it means that we're either going to add an apostrophe only if the word ends with an S, like our plural ends with an S, or we're going to add an apostrophe and an S if it's either singular possessive or plural possessive, but it does not end with an S. So if we look at this word, it says, we rode our bicycles to the park. Bicycles. So the word bicycles, is it something that shows, is it a word that shows position? Or does it show that there's just more than one of that? So we rode our bicycles to the park. So is that a plural noun, which shows that there's more than one of that? Or is it a singular possessive noun, which shows that one person owns something or has something? All right, then if we were to choose the correct noun in bold, and it says we rode our bicycles to the park, and then we will say it is a plural noun because we rode our bicycles. It makes mention of more than one bicycle, right? Doesn't show position, doesn't show that one or more person, owns or has something. It just shows that word, basically just shows that there's more than one of that items. So it's a plural noun. All right, it says Clara painted the fairies' wings yellow. There we have an apostrophe at the end of the word fairies. Makes mention of more than one, but fairies' wings. So Clara painted the fairies' wings yellow. So is that a plural possessive noun or is that a plural noun? Fairies with an apostrophe. Is that a plural possessive noun or is it a plural noun? All right, so it says Clara painted the fairies' wings yellow, right? So which means that that is a plural possessive noun. The next one says the boys splash in puddles after it rains. So the boys splash in puddles after it rains. So the word puddles, is that a plural noun? Option one. Or is it a plural possessive noun? Option two. So the word puddles. All right, so the word puddles, right? The word puddles makes mention of more than one, right? So which means that we will then say it is a plural noun. Yes, well done. It is a plural noun because it doesn't show that someone either owns or has something, right? It just makes mention of more than one puddle, right? So it's puddles. So plural noun is correct. Well done. Then it says The next one says, my brothers' bicycles are red. So this shows that the brother owns the bicycle, right? The bicycle belongs to the brother. So my older brother's bicycles are red. And it also has an apostrophe at the end of the word brothers. So my brothers' bicycles are red. So is that a plural possessive noun that makes mention that the brother owns something or has something? Or is the plural noun, that word in bold, shows more than one? So the option one or the option two? So my older brother's bicycles are red. So which means that this is a plural possessive noun. It makes mention of the more than one brother, right? So it basically makes mention of, let's say, maybe two or more of the brothers or the brothers who owns bicycles. So it is a plural possessive nouns. They either own the bicycles or they have the bicycles. And then also the girls' kites flew high in the sky. So the word girls, it refers to more than girls owning something or having something. All right. So if we make mention of more than one girls owning something, then we say it is a plural possessive nouns. All right. Now we're going to form either singular or plural possessives, right? Only possessive nouns. Remember, once again, we said possessive nouns, it either shows who or what owns something or has something, right? With a singular possessive noun, in order to form that possessive noun, we add an apostrophe and an S to our noun. And if it is a plural possessive noun, then we either add an apostrophe only at the end of that word if it ends with an S, or if the word does not end with an S, but it shows that there's more than one um, of the nouns, and then we still add the apostrophe and the S. All right. If we look at an example, right, or not even an example, if we look at an activity, and then it says the feet. So we're going to say now, do we say the goose's feet or do we say the goose's feet? So which one is correct? We need to choose the possessive noun. Do we say the goose's feet or the goose's feet? Look at one of those words. All right. So if we were to choose the correct possessive noun, yes, it is actually it's actually a it's actually a singular possessive noun. But if we were to choose the correct one, then we would say it is the goose's, right? Because it makes mention of one. So the goose's feet, right? All right, let us go to our test before our lesson ends. We need to type the possessive form of the given noun. Do we say our flag colors or our flags' colors? Option one or two. So do we say our flag colors or our flags' colors? Which one is correct? Our flag colors or our flags' colors? And if we were to choose the correct one, we would make mention of the flags' colors. Not our flag colors, our flags' colors. We need to choose one of this. Yes, that is correct. It's a plural possessive. But if we were to choose the plural possessive, then it is option two. So well done. It is a plural possessive. All right. Do we say the table edge or the table's edge? Which one is correct? The table edge or the table's edge? We need to choose the correct possessive form of the given noun. So is it option one for the table edge or option two, the table's edge? It's actually it's actually a singular possessive, right? Because we are making mention of one table. So we're talking about the edge of the table, right? But instead of saying the edge of the table, we are saying the table's edge. So it's actually a singular possessive noun. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on possessive nouns, right? We said that we have plural nouns and we have possessive nouns. Plural nouns only refers to something as having more than one of that thing, right? So we only added an S. But when it comes to possessives, right, plural possessive shows that either someone or something owns something or has something. Then we get a singular possessive, right? If we want to form the singular possessive noun to show that either one person or thing owns or has something, then we add an apostrophe and an s to our word to show or to form the possessive noun. And then when it comes to the plural possessive, right? If it is a plural refers to more than one person or thing that owns or has something. And if our word ends with an s, right, to show that there's more than one person or thing that owns something, then we only add an apostrophe after that word. But if we want to show the plural, but it does not end with an s, then we add an apostrophe and an s to show the plural possessive nouns. All right, so that is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade twos, for joining the class. And I really hope that you're going to have a good day further. Bye.